the hot table?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you please introduce yourself?
Okay. Ooh, all right. I am Councilwoman Monique Holsey-Hyman. I was appointed to council in May of 2022. I actually put my application in and beat out 21 people and got appointed. I'm also a professor of Central, North Carolina Central of Social Work. I have about 30 years of social work direct administration practice and 18 years of higher ed. Grew up in the South Bronx of New York, projects and all of that. Went to Binghamton University at 16 and Columbia Ivy League. Never thought I would do that. My goal is to give back to the students. I've won 5 awards at Central. Because you know why? Because of students. So let's get going. What questions do you want?
So you can take, we'll say like 4 minutes or 3 minutes per question.
Okay.
Whatever.
Hey, my name is CJ and I go to Riverside High School. If you were elected, how will young people specifically be impacted?
Well, I will tell you that I love students. And as soon as I got appointed to the council, we have an office of youth. And while I think they do a good job, I was a little disheartened about not being able to reach some of the other kids that I think we need to reach. So I grew up in the projects, right? And so we had a lot of students who, that's those students who are 4 O's and the 3 O's. But what about my students who are struggling? And those students sometimes are on public housing. So one of the things I asked them to do was reach out and ask those students to be ambassadors. And so we've got students that, for the first time since I've been on council, to have students who are ambassadors in the Office of Youth from Cornwallis projects. That means a lot to me. And I also asked for, because I love mentoring, I started the first mentoring appreciation celebration. So mentoring month is January. I was not on council, so I didn't have money to do it, but I started borrowing money from every council member, and we were able to honor about 50 mentoring programs, and they had never been mentored. They had never been honored before. They were so happy. I had them come to City Hall. We gave them awards. We honored them. And this year in the budget, I asked for money to increase that, because next year in January, if I'm so blessed to get back on, I want to do a mentoring conference where I bring parents and kids, because what I didn't like is that they said we had over 1,000 youth programs. Do y'all know we have 1,000 youth programs in Durham? Well, I didn't either. And so I was like, well, how come our parents don't know about that? When I have a parent saying, come get them, I don't know what to do with them, they need to know what services are there. I also want to tell you that I'm also the vice president of the Durham Social Services Board. So I just left that meeting. I've been on that board for 6 years. No, let me tell you, I love what I do, because I'm standing here and sitting here because of people who have mentored me. And like I just told them, the people who mentored me that did not look like me, a David Goldstein, a Dr. DePetris, Italian, Jewish, that saw something in me and pushed me. And you know what? I'm going to be a mentor for all colors and all students. That's just what it is. That's just what it is.
All right, next question.
You can go next. You can do questions.
So I know, especially for you. Okay, so a big concern for you is homelessness.
Oh yes.
So like, what are you trying to do with that? Like,
well, okay, so I teach human behavior, and one of the theoretical, I don't want you to write this down, there's a theoretical framework called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And what he talks about is if you don't have basic needs like food, shelter, you cannot reach higher levels of goals, right? And so first of all, I really feel that housing, food should be a basic right. Well, we know that doesn't happen here, because it's always like, for social workers, we're always fighting for social and economic justice, right? As for homeless, we've got to, number one, get housing. I don't like affordable, because I think that word is ridiculous. Because affordable for who? It's sustainable. We need sustainable housing that people can actually stay in, housing that maybe we can help them with a subsidy, but while we're helping them with a subsidy, help them get jobs, link them to employment, or so that this way, once that subsidy runs out, they can maintain and stay in that particular housing. Like I told you, I grew up in the South Bronx in the projects, right? So I don't want, I want you to be able to have opportunities to be able to not have to do that, right? My mother was really, like, one of the things she said is, like, I want you to get your education. So that, because education what allowed me to be able to get out of that situation, okay? And so I don't forget where I come from. I always talk about it to my students, because it's not where you come from, it's where you're going. And my mother always told me, I don't want you to be a victim of your environment. And I never knew what she meant by that. But that means if you come from humble beginnings, that doesn't mean that you have to stay there. But you got to hustle. You got to take every opportunity that you can, like I told them. You got to read every book. You got to try to get any type of networking. So when we leave here, you need to get people's cards in here, okay? Because it's all about networking.
You got your card.
I got it. I got it.
Next question.
Okay, so I can't tell what this one on the top of my head, but a lot of people in Durham have jobs that can't really like provide for them or sustain their like families. So like, how do you plan to like maybe like create new jobs in Durham and make sure those people actually get paid?
Again, I was one of the council members who really started in the beginning, like in June. We had a budget to pass, and myself, the mayor, who's Mayor Elaine O'Neill, and DeJohn Freeman, we didn't vote for the budget because we wanted the increase for our city workers. And so, as soon as I got on council, I think it's because of my spirit and just that people person, the firefighters, the Saturday, they came and they spoke with me. They're like, no one is listening. So in pre-budget, I asked for money to increase their salaries, but nobody really kind of listened to me because I was new. And then we started hearing that they were going to strike and all of this. And so we've got to make sure that we put money in the budget to make sure that their salaries are staying current. We are doing a comprehensive plan for salaries right now so that we can look at where other people's salaries are within the cities, because we're losing people. We train good people here, but we're losing our firefighters, we're losing our police officers. I am so proud to say that I am the only candidate that got endorsed by the firefighters. And why is that? Because I've been talking and I've been with them from day one. Not because I'm running, because I saw that there was a need. And I also got endorsement from the union for the city workers. So those really mean a lot to me because they're saying to me that, Dr. Hyman, you've been with us from day one, not about you running, day one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question.
I have a question about public transportation.
Yes.
So I was wondering, what would you do to make public transportation more accessible?
So I'm also on the mains committee for people with disabilities, and one of the things that they always talk to me about is transportation for people with disabilities. So I don't know how many people have to drive to school. Y'all are probably a little bit more blessed than me. I had to take the bus, but some people take transportation, and a lot of people who email me saying that they're standing in ditches, they're not standing at like bus stops, they're not accessible for people with disabilities. So I'm really pushing for that. But we have to do a comprehensive needs assessment of what transportation that we need. I know a couple of years ago they started to put I think it was a light rail in. They lost a lot of money with that, like 200 and something million. And I'm so pissed about that. Did I say pissed? I'm so pissed about that. Because I'm gonna tell you why. You know what I could have done with that money, especially with my social work. Okay, so that's a whole other story. So what we have to do, and actually the mayor just took me and a couple of council members, I think Leonardo went and DeJohn Friend, to Indianapolis, and we were there to look at their transit. They were, beautiful. They had bus lanes, they had rapid transit, but they also increased taxes. But it was beautiful. They had housing. It was like I wanted to just move there. Of course, I'm not going to Indianapolis, right? Because I love Durham. But there's so many creative things that we can do. But we have to make sure that we get the right. Because I don't want any more of that money wasted. So I don't think we need to just jump into something. But we need to be creative and we need to find out what the people need. I do know, like I said, from people emailing me and speaking to me that we do need more transit around that's correct for people with disabilities. Like those lift stations, things like that. We don't have that. I have people saying that they literally are standing in a ditch for a bus. We're in Durham. That shouldn't happen. You know what I mean?
Thank you so much.
Next question.
So, my name's Anaz.
Hi.
So, I had a question about the healthcare system. So, my question is, if the local government was given more funding, how would this funding go towards improving the healthcare system, and more specifically, like, towards making it more equitable and accessible to like minority groups and whether like they already have a program?
So that's what I do, which is why I'm so happy to be. I think I'm the second social worker ever to be on city council, which means that I'm looking at everything that I do, everything I vote on from a person and environment lens, okay, which wasn't really happening. And if I had a wish list, can I tell you what I would like? I would like a one-stop shop. So you come in, picture this with me. You come in, you got an area that you're dealing with for people who are homeless. You got an area that's dealing with human services, and you got an area that's dealing with health. There is a program like that in New Jersey, and that particular program, because it was a one-stop shop, and you can go and you can get all those services. Because one thing I hate is telling a person, go over here for the housing, go over here. People don't want to do that. They want services, and they want them now, and they want to be able to get them, and when they leave here, they have something tangible. So I like to do a lot of research on what else people are doing, and in New Jersey, they have that one-stop shop where you come in, if you have an issue with homelessness, apartments, you get that. If you have an issue with human services or health, so it's all in one shop. And it actually, this program has actually decreased homelessness. So if I had some money and a wish list, yeah, I would do some of those things. But you know, there's 7 people on council, so you can't get anything proved unless you have 4 people.
I have another question. Why do you think your future idea of Durham is better than all your other candidates?
Well, I will tell you, I think that you need the right people at the table to move Durham where it needs to be. There's something that I feel, and you probably can identify because you probably have watched the TV show, they have and they have nots, okay? And there's a lot of people here in Durham that have, and there's a lot of people who have nots. And so with me at the table, I'm going to make sure that my people who are have nots are being heard. What's happening that a lot of people who don't have the, can I just be real frank and honest with you? That's just what I do with my students. I have ran this campaign with no money, and I'm still standing by the grace of God. Most people of color do not do things like this because we do not have money that people are giving us to run a race. It costs a lot of money to run a race. Just some signs you see was $3,000. I had to put it on the credit card. Now, there's some people that got funding. There's some people that got backing from different PACs. I didn't get that. And however this turns out, I have been an example for my students. I'm still in it. I'm number 5, and I'm going to keep rocking and rolling. I got questions for y'all. Okay. As I asked the other team, what are your strengths? What are your strengths? Tell me your strengths. Go ahead.
I personally believe my strengths are, I think I'm really good at politics. Like, I love politics. I want to run for DA when I get older.
I'm loving it. First of all, what you have to do, I want to leave some nuggets for you. I gave you that theoretical framework. This is another nugget. I want you, when I teach leadership at Central, I have a couple of classes, that's one. You should always have a 2-minute elevator pitch. And what do I mean? You never know who you're going to be. So if somebody says, what's your strengths? You don't know if I'm from a corporation or not. I might be able to give you an intern. So you got to always be able to be on it. Know what you're saying, know what you feel, know what you want to do. I love the fact you say you want to be a DA, right? What are somebody else's strengths? Yes, go ahead.
I make drugs.
I love it. You got some pink and green runs for me because you know I'm an AK. I need pink and green. How about that? But I love the creativity. I love it. The other thing too is, do y'all know what schools you want to go to?
Yeah.
Tell me, because I didn't tell you. I also teach at Columbia. I teach at Fordham. I teach at Bracia, Tulane, Walden, and St. Joseph.
Tulane really just sent me away.
Okay, I'm just telling you. It's all about networking. Let me know. Go
You can
ahead.
help people get scholarships.
Now, I will tell you that what I try to do is link, like my daughter got she went to early college, so she got a lot of scholarships. I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, so that's one of the first black sororities that was founded in 1908 at Howard University. Your vice president of the United States is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha. We do a scholarship every year. I'm in this chapter in Durham called Alpha Zeta Omega. They give scholarships. They also do deputies. I wish I would have saw you earlier because because you raise money for college. So y'all got to keep in touch with me. However this goes, I'm still going to be at Central. I'm still going to be right at South Point. And I'm always been mentoring students because when you move up and you do well, guess what? We all do. Can I tell you one little story? I have a student that came to my office at Shaw University. I was there for 14 years before I moved up at Central. He was one of the biggest drug dealers in North Carolina. Not only did I mentor him, he was able to apply to Columbia, my alma mater. I hooded him with his doctorate 3 years ago.
Wow.
Okay. That's what I do. I also have started a program at Central. It's called Transferring Social Work Through Mentorship. I have linked my undergrads and my master's students with alumni. So we started with a cohort of 25 last term. We did a pinning ceremony. I had no money. I got a grant of $5,000, which helped me do this new cohort. So right now I have 25 mentors and mentees, and they want me to do it again next semester. I know, as I told you, if I ask you right now what teachers here you like, you can tell me, right? If I ask you right now what teacher here is going to vibe for you if they have to, you know it. Exactly. So that's what it's about. I also did my dissertation around retention, and I'm very big on retention because what happens is, I don't care if it's a janitor or a teacher, you got to connect yourself to somebody in the university. My office is always packed. They always talk about my snacks. I go to Aldi's and get the snacks. That's what I can afford. But they come in there and they eat them, and we sit in there, we talk, and we shoot degrees, and we're like, what you want to do? We go from singing rap to singing gospel to having a good time. But it's all about the connection. And they say, Dr. Hyman, if it was not for you, we would not be here. And that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me going.
Yes,
Yes, I got it right here.
I can't get it right now.
I see you pass them out.
No, we can't get it right now.
Pass out to the kids.
Oh yeah.
And then you might have to make copies, okay? Can y'all make copies? Because I was just someplace else and here.
Okay, not like that.
And again, I am at North Carolina Central. Please make copies. My email is I can give you my email. My email is y'all listening? M-Hyman is MHYMAN number 8 at nccu.edu. I'm gonna say it again. MHYMAN
Down for all the kids.
number 8 at nccu.edu.
Is there a way that we can talk, because like since we're moderators, it would be partisan
No problem. Call me. I'm also on the admissions committee, so you
we
need to
can
call
tell
me.
card like this is over with.
Yes, I got it. So I don't have a lot because I was giving my stuff out earlier. This is how I love students. I was at eating Mexican, and I'm at the table, and I saw some students from Central, and they wanted my card.
Do you want to write your email on the table? And they can.
Okay, so